Welcome to another electrifying, eye-opening, and soul-stirring episode of your premier channel for truth, insight, and revolutionary discourse on Africa's unstoppable journey towards self-reliance. My friends, today is no ordinary day. We stand at the crossroads of history, witnessing a seismic shift, a moment so profound it reverberates through the corridors of time, echoing the bold, unyielding vision of Burkina Faso's fearless leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore. His relentless advocacy for African self-sufficiency, his clarion call for economic independence, and his refusal to bow to the whims of foreign powers have just been handed a resounding validation. How, you ask? Buckle up, because we're diving into the game-changing announcement from the Trump administration, the decision to withdraw Usaid from overseas operations. That's right, the United States Agency for International Development is packing up and heading home, and the implications for Africa are nothing short of revolutionary. This move, my friends, has set the global stage ablaze with debate. Critics are wringing their hands, pundits are pontificating, and the airwaves are buzzing with speculation. No, we're here to cut through the clutter, to shine a spotlight on the truth, and to unpack what this means for Africa's future. For years, decades, even, Captain Ibrahim Traore has been sounding the alarm, urging African leaders to break free from the suffocating grip of foreign dependency. He's been a lone voice in the wilderness, a prophet of self-determination, declaring that Africa must redefine development on its own terms, not through the tinted lens of Western aid agencies. And now, with Usaid facing its most dramatic operational overhaul in decades, his words ring truer than ever. The need for sustainable, internally driven economic models has never been clearer, and today, we are going to explore this historic turning point with the depth and clarity you've come to expect from. Grab a seat, open your mind, and let's journey together into the heart of this moment. We dissect the implications of Usaid's withdrawal, analyze its impact on Burkina Faso and the broader African continent, and celebrate how Captain Traore's leadership stands as a towering example of the resilience, foresight, and strategic vision Africa needs to thrive in this new era. This is not just a news story, my friends, this is a wake-up call, a rallying cry, and a blueprint for liberation. Let's get started. The Trump administration's bold move. The news broke like a thunderclap. The Trump administration has initiated the withdrawal of Usaid personnel from overseas posts. According to sources deep within the corridors of power, this marks a tectonic shift in U.S. foreign aid policy, a restructuring so fundamental it redefines how America engages with the developing world. Usaid, that long-standing behemoth of international development and humanitarian assistance, has been a fixture in Africa for generations. Its programs have built roads, funded clinics, and supplied school books, noble efforts on the surface, to be sure. But let's not kid ourselves. Beneath the glossy brochures and feel-good photo ops lies a darker truth. Critics, including Captain Traore himself, have long argued that Usaid's largesse comes with strings attached, strings that tether African nations to a cycle of dependency, undermine local governance, and keep our continent perpetually beholden to foreign masters. This withdrawal, set to be completed by the weekend, is no mere administrative tweak. It's the culmination of a broader ideological shift spearheaded by President Donald Trump and his enigmatic advisor, Elon Musk. Yes, you heard that right, Elon Musk, the billionaire titan of innovation, has thrown his considerable weight behind this decision. Musk has gone on record, mincing no words, calling Usaid a criminal organization, a bloated bureaucracy that perpetuates inefficiency, squanders resources, and fails to empower the nations it claims to serve. His posts on X have been a firestorm of condemnation, rallying his millions of followers to the cause of dismantling what he sees as a relic of neocolonial meddling. And Trump. He's doubled down, accusing Usaid of corruption and fraud, though the specifics remain murky, no surprise there, given his flair for the dramatic. Of course, the backlash has been swift and fierce. Democratic lawmakers have taken to the airwaves, decrying the move as reckless and short-sighted. Usaid staffers have staged protests outside their Washington headquarters, waving placards and warning of a geopolitical vacuum that could destabilize fragile regions. This will weaken America's influence, they cry. China and Russia will fill the void, they warn. And yes, There's truth in that. Beijing and Moscow are already deepening their ties with African nations through infrastructure deals, energy projects, and military partnerships. But here's the question we need to ask: is this a crisis for Africa, or is it an opportunity? For leaders like Captain Ibrahim Traore, the answer is crystal clear. This is the moment Africa has been waiting for, the chance to unshackle ourselves from the gilded cage of Western aid and forge a future on our own terms. Captain Ibrahim Traore's vision takes center stage. If there's one man who saw this day coming, it's Captain Ibrahim Traore, the Ironwood president of Burkina Faso. Since taking the helm, he's been a relentless champion of African self-determination, a leader who refuses to play by the old rules. His message has been unwavering: Africa must seize control of its destiny. No more begging bowls, no more outstretched hands, no more groveling at the feet of foreign donors. Under his stewardship, Burkina Faso has charted a bold course towards self-sufficiency, reducing reliance on external financial crutches and investing in the pillars of true independence: local industrialization, agricultural resilience, and technological innovation. Traore's philosophy is simple yet profound. Foreign aid, however well-meaning, often breeds a vicious cycle of dependency that strangles long-term development. He said it time and again: Africa cannot thrive as a perpetual recipient, a junior partner in a game rigged against us. Instead, we must harness our own resources, tap into our boundless human capital, and build economic structures that stand tall without the scaffolding of Western handouts. And now, with USAID's exit, his vision is no longer a distant dream, it's a pressing necessity. The withdrawal aligns perfectly with his call for an Africa that stands on its own 2 feet, a continent that leverages its vast mineral wealth, its fertile lands, and its youthful population to achieve sustainable growth. Let's break this down. What does self-reliance look like in practice? For Traore, it's about investing in local industries to create jobs and slash import bills. It's about strengthening intra-African trade so we're not at the mercy of Western markets. It's about empowering our youth with technical training and education tailored to Africa's unique needs, not some cookie-cutter curriculum imported from abroad. And it's about modernizing agriculture, think cutting-edge farming techniques, irrigation systems, and seed banks to ensure food security for generations to come. Burkina Faso is already walking this path, and the USAID withdrawal. It's not a setback, it's a catalyst, a spark to ignite the fire of self-reliance across the continent. The role of African leadership in this new era. For too long, African nations have leaned heavily on international aid organizations like USAID. And yes, these partnerships have delivered tangible benefits. Hospitals, highways, and classrooms don't build themselves, after all. But there's a flip side, a shadow that looms large: structural vulnerabilities. When your economy hinges on foreign generosity, you're not sovereign, you're a tenant in your own house. The withdrawal of USAID lays bare this uncomfortable truth and demands a response. African leaders can no longer afford to sit back and wait for the next check to clear. The time for proactive, homegrown solutions is now, and Captain Traore's administration is lighting the way. Under his leadership, Burkina Faso has pursued policies that prioritize national infrastructure without drowning in foreign debt. He's forged partnerships within Africa, think regional blocs like ECOWAS and the African Union, because unity is our strength. He's courted investments from the African diaspora, tapping into the wealth and expertise of our brothers and sisters abroad. And he's pushed for alternative funding mechanisms, sovereign wealth funds, regional development banks, tools to fuel growth without the baggage of Western strings. This isn't just rhetoric, it's a roadmap. With USAID scaling back, African governments have a golden opportunity to redirect resources into key industries, manufacturing, agriculture, tech, and create sustainable development pathways that don't evaporate when the donor tap runs dry. But it's not just about economics, it's about mindset. For decades, we've been conditioned to see aid as a lifeline, a crutch we can't live without. Traore is challenging that narrative, daring us to imagine an Africa that doesn't need a babysitter. It's a tall order. No doubt, USAID's departure will leave gaps, especially in countries where it funded critical services. But gaps can be filled, and challenges can be met, if we have the will and the vision to act. Burkina Faso is proof that it's possible, and other nations would do well to take